Welcome to today's Research Business Daily Report, where we are proud to have a second special presentation by Unilever Senior Vice President of Consumer and Market Insights, Stan Sthanunathan. This one focuses on predictions about things coming to the market research industry. RBDR is sponsored today and all this week by KL Communications. Is your online community feeling perhaps a little stale? Well, KL Communications is ready to help you inject new life in it through the power of co-creation. And we will fill you in at the end of today's report about what it might be able to do for you. Yesterday, you heard Stan Sthanunathan from Unilever explain 10 important things that researchers must have in their now present consideration set if they wanted to successfully compete with ever-changing consumers. And he issued those points at MRS's annual conference in London a week ago. And he followed up those ideas in his major presentation with 10 bold predictions, and Stan graciously agreed to spend the time to spell them out for us in the RBDR audience as well. So listen closely, take notes, and I'd like to know if you agree or disagree with any or all that Stan is seeing coming our way.
Yesterday, Bob gave you access to the 10 commandments that I talked about. Jumping off that, here are my 10 predictions for the insights industry. I have no idea how many of those predictions should come true, but this is just my personal point of view and take it for what it's worth. Some of them you might turn around and say they're already manifesting in the market in some form or the other. But what I'm saying is some of those things that are already there would get scaled up big, and some of them might be new that might impact our industry going forward. So here are the 10 predictions. The first one is that nerds are going to rule. Whether we like it or not, they were always ruling us, but they were never sexy. But what has happened over the last 20 years or so with the rapid growth of Silicon Valley, nerds have actually become sexy. Now, I've got in the slide two charts. These were marketing mix models that were done by Unilever back in 1930. 1930. Even those days, nerds were doing really cool stuff. Today, nerds are really premium commodities in the market. They're going to rule us. The unfortunate reality is there aren't enough of them in the world. So if you have one simple advice for your own kids, I would say make them do math, science, and coding, and they would have an enormously successful career going forward. So that's my first prediction. The second one is technology, the tail that wags the dog. Until recently, technology was seen as an enabler. It was seen as a facilitator. But with the rapid growth of technology that is happening all around us, it is something that is going to actually shape the way we do things as opposed to enable the way we do things. Just a simple video, just go to YouTube and search for Indian beggar with credit card reader. Watch that video. If nothing else, it'll give you a good laugh. But the reality is that's how rapidly the technology is shaping. Here is a beggar who's got a credit card reader and he takes alms in credit card. And that's the magnitude of impact of technology on people's life. And that is going to wag the dog going forward. Boutiques flourish is my third prediction. Again, you could turn around and say, weren't they there already? Yes, they were there. But going forward, we will probably see a mushrooming growth of boutiques, each one offering a very unique skill, which is going to be the basis on which they create their own business model, their own intellectual property. And this is a cycle, having been in the industry for 32 years, I can almost very clearly see that happen. From consolidation, the big agencies becoming big, acquiring each other and becoming even bigger, to a stage where these boutiques will come and a group of small fishes might start nibbling at the big fishes. And that's around the corner. The fourth prediction is integrators emerge. Now, again, this is a prediction that is going to be accelerated and enabled by technology. In the past, integration of data sources used to be actually quite laborious and time intensive and sometimes even hardware processing power intensive. But going forward with the rate at which technology is evolving, with artificial intelligence evolving, integration of data sources is actually going to become relatively easy. And that's going to increase the value that we get from insights dramatically. While there is going to be a hardware and software based integration, there is also going to be a human skill component to this, where people who can integrate information across sources are the ones who are going to command premium going forward. The fifth prediction is scale is going to become a liability. In the past, people used to come and say, I have offices in 100 countries, I have on the ground servicing capability in 70 countries, and so on. Businesses were built on big scale. My prediction is that that very scale on which big businesses were built is going to become a liability, because once again, technology is breaking down barriers. With the help of technology, we can not only collect information and insights, but can also deliver it to people virtually. And that's going to make a lot of large companies a little bit nervous going forward. The next prediction is what I call as quantified self. We all know the power of wearables. In fact, a lot of us would be having some wearable device or the other. I have my Apple Watch. It's very easy to measure your steps and heartbeats and pulse and the activity that you participated in, sleep pattern, and so on and so forth. But that's technology that is available today. It is round the corner that we're going to have technology that will actually measure your emotions. It's around the corner where you'll be able to measure your brain responses to stimulus. All these things would become everyday possibilities. And when that happens, the amount of data that we can generate about individuals is going to be mind boggling. The days of asking questions about how you spent your day and how you felt during different parts of the day will be history, because quantified self data would be able to give you all that, provided we can get permission from the respondent to actually share that data with us. So this is going to be a big one. The seventh prediction is artificial intelligence takes over. And I've carefully used the word takes over because I strongly believe artificial intelligence would be able to do a lot of things that we as insights professionals do on a daily basis. The computing power growth and the rate at which the artificial intelligence algorithms are evolving, very soon we would have machines with emotions. And that's not like 20 years from today, it's more like 5 years from today. We will have machines that will probably have emotions equal to that of a human being. And when those machines start analyzing information, we are looking at a scenario where the machines probably take over some of the routine stuff that we were actually doing a year ago. In that world, we need to ask ourselves a question: what is the incremental value addition that we can bring to the table over and above what an artificial intelligent device can bring to the table? The, okay. The eighth prediction is what I would classify as moving from the why to why not. The inside industry has been built around answering the question why. Tomorrow, the inside industry is actually going to move into a proactive mode and tell people, why not do this? This is the insight that I've generated proactively, which I'm going to take, and I'll go to my internal business partner and say, hey, founders, shouldn't you be doing blah? As opposed to reacting to a brief that was given, for which I go and do a research and say why people do what they do. They're telling you that already today. Analyze it and go and tell your marketing clients why not do something. So that's a major paradigm shift for insight people, where we move from why to why not. The ninth one might be a little bit controversial. Strongly believe that in about 5 years' time from now, the whole notion of briefs would be history. Why do I say that? The notion of annual planning, where we write a creative brief, produce an ad, run it for a year, and then go back to the cycle again, is something that might change quite drastically. Because in the digital world, being always on, being always connected, being agile, nimble, and responding to people uh, in the moment is going to call for not a brief and response world, but a constant listening, analyzing, and engaging world. And this is going to require a different set of skill sets. It won't be transactional, it won't be project specific world, but it will be a world where you'll be actually interacting with your clients and your internal business partners very differently going forward. And the last prediction is insights in hours, not in days or weeks. Now, you could turn around and say it's already happening, but all that I'm saying is this is something that is going to happen at scale in the very near future, probably a couple of years from now. This is a demand that one gets from the internal clients on an ongoing basis. To why is it taking so long to come back to us with an insight when you can actually do these things differently? And this is all these 10 predictions that I talked about is going to call for some extraordinary bravery on the part of both internal insights function and research agencies. It is going to call for extraordinary risk taking. And if you don't do these brave acts and if you don't take risks, we run the risk of becoming dinosaurs. And none of us want that.
Our thanks to Stan for his time and his input. That's your Research Business Daily Report, where we've been sponsored today and will be all week by KL Communications, which asks, is your online community feeling stale? Well, if you haven't given that idea a thought, take a second. Because online communities have been part of the research world for 15 years. So if you want to take advantage optimally of what they're all about today, well, you probably should check out KL Communications, which can freshen up your work in the area. In fact, you can go way past capturing the opinions of crowds. You can collect and use the wisdom that comes from those crowds. Following KL Communications processes have already benefited Delta Airlines, Time Inc., and Bacardi, among others. Visit the link that is in today's RBDR. It's both underneath today's video and it's in the email that is going out to our subscribers. It's also on the screen directly to the right of me. Have a great research day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.